Welcome to my Monday morning ADHD. I don't know where my remote is, but I do that. Do you know that there's an app for your TV? Most TVs, if you have a smart TV, has a fireplace app, and I do that. I now need to find my remote. All right, Alexa, stop. Okay, good morning. Let's stretch it out. Right, I'm a little bit late because it's Monday, and time is not real during the holiday time. Right? Right? Taylor said, absolutely, do fireplace TV. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find my phone. I'm sure one of the kids did something with it. There it is. See? It's gonna usually be in one place or another. But now let me tell you the story of my tree. Isn't that beautiful? It's not real. It's one of those flock trees. So the story of my tree is, as you know, I share with you guys my life. I am separated. January 23rd will be 3 years. We are one of those holiday picture families. We are like, matching PJs, give me a picture sort of family. And when I knew that it was kind of just not doing it, I dwindled away from doing those kinds of things. Like probably the year before it all came crashing down. Anywho, year one, I put up a tree like on the 23rd of December. And it was only because the kids were like freaking harassing me. But I did not feel like it, right? Because my husband was the person who would come and get the tree and we would go pick it out. My friend Keith, amazing North Star Christmas trees, if you are in Atlanta, live trees. So it was all beautiful. And that was like his shtick. I'm like, I maintaining a tree and all of that. That just wasn't my thing. So we would do all of the, like rocking around the Christmas tree decorating. So that year one, I just could not. I did not have it within me. And I was like, listen, I'm barely holding on here. Um, Year two, we went home. I shared that with you guys before. We went home. So I was in Massachusetts, where my cousin now lives. We're all from the Bronx. But we went home and I was like, this is lovely, right? Being surrounded by my family. I think we landed maybe like Christmas Day. So that was great. And this year, oh, how I got the tree. So, we had went home but my friends, Kelly and Sander, had posted in the Gives Free Sell Swap, group that there was a tree. So I text Kelly immediately and I wound up marrying them this year. I text Kelly immediately and was like, yeah, I'll take the tree. And then another friend of mine had posted on my Facebook and I was like, listen, I don't have decorations. Y'all know what I'm going through. I'm not going in the attic. I'm not going in the attic to get all of the Christmas ornaments, right, that we've shared through these last years. Like I still have the first, our first Christmas ornament that my mother-in-law got us and all that. I was like, I just can't do that. She came over with all of those beautiful glitter ornaments, right? Like the little blue ones, tiny little penguins and stuff. So my tree is absolutely built out of love and community. And this year was our first year that it was up for, like Thanksgiving time. And I'm still not able to go in the attic and go through and get those. Maybe next year, right? This is the process of healing, you guys. That's the whole point, right? Next year I may be able to go in the attic and go through those things. And hell, I may even hang that up, right? Because then the kids can take that and go through that or what have you. But all of us are in this healing, grieving, constant cycle during the holiday season, right? The other day I got the candles going and I even bought the little candy canes to put on the tree. I buy like the wooden ornaments so the kids can paint it because they're all love art. And Kieran walks in, this is my son, and he's like, oh, it smells like memories. Oh, you guys, I wanted to cry because it was like healing in real time. And that leads me into my conversation. So it is healing in real time. So thank you for loving my beautiful tree. I am in love with my beautiful tree as well. It's a community tree. Right? My friends decorated it. My friends gave it to me. My friends hold me through it all. So it is basically my community tree. Good morning, Vic, 60K and below. Hello, Louise Jennifer. So that is my beautiful Christmas tree story that I am in love with. I am not putting my phone in the windowsill because here we go. This is why. This is why. Right? Because cats are everywhere. And I'm not opening the window this morning for them to come in and out. So I think that this is their small form of protest. So I may be moving my phone around a bit. Let's get this fireplace going. Oh, we'll do that later. I now have the remote, so I'll be happy to do that. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is Monday. So, what we're going to be talking about is moving through the holidays with all of the grief, the possibilities, financial stress. I told you guys last week that I like to listen to the financial news in the morning. And like 62% of Americans would rather go into debt than disappoint their families. And I'm one of those 62%, I'm not going to lie. And I have tweaked it a wee bit. Sue says, deep stuff, honored to hear your story. Thank you. I appreciate that. Good morning, Amy. Um, I am definitely a part of that 62% because, I live on credit. So my life is pretty much in debt. It is what it is. But I had discussions with my children this year and my family, and I shared that in the article that I posted before going live, that we are going to be honoring experiences. Okay, this year. Um, we are moving away from the large consumption, right? Like how many gifts can we have? And I've really never been um big on like the how many. Like I've been parenting for 30 years now. So I've had two sets of children. I feel like I'm raising my grandkids right now. So it was always like a set amount, right? I remember one year with Jade, my eldest, she's 29 now. We were living in North Dakota, and I had done this huge layaway, like huge on the base shopping. Each kid got about like $300 a piece. At that time, those were like early 2000 prices. I know that $300 ain't the same now. Anti hoot. And I had bought all of these things, all like a shit ton of things. And then we were having conversations like, what do you actually want for Christmas? And this kid wanted a my size Barbie. And I was like, should I get the my size Barbie and like end all this stuff? And I opted to not. I returned all of that stuff, and the my size Barbie was damn near the cost of that. But let me tell you something, that my size Barbie traveled with us from North Dakota to Mildenhall, England, where we were then stationed. And she played with that doll for at least a good 4 years. Okay. So that experience in and of itself, and she must have been about 6 when we first got it. I don't know, 5, 6, I don't know. Probably 5. Um, really put things into perspective. I've really always been centered on what do you actually want, right? Like not this idea, oh, there is a cat out there. Not this idea of plenty, but of deeper and more. And that is what I want us to get into as we are sitting in the midst of a financial crisis. Like that's where we are. The only people that are benefiting from this economy are the uber wealthy. Like, stock portfolios are up. Life is good over on that side of the train tracks. But over here where the rest of us lie, not so much. Okay. Not so much. I'm getting tons of requests for assistance for gas in the car, right? Bus fare. These are very real things that are happening. Good morning, Michelle. Hey, Jenny. So, anywho, let's get into our 3 talking points, or we could just chat. I don't know. But there's just so much that is kind of coming up during this holiday season for me, for the collective, as we are all just unraveling and things are falling apart. And sometimes they do need to fall apart in order to build. And I'm here for that. So, yes, together, deep breath. Let's get into it. I was really kinda jamming with the music. I wish I could have the music at the same time, but anyhow, my computer closed down. Just okay, okay, come in. Jeez Louise. You guys are absolutely absurd. Do you see those trainer cats? Look at this, look at this. Yeah, it's cold. You thinking about it, huh? Are you coming in or are you staying? It's cold. What are you thinking about? You going? Okay, I'm closing this. It's over. Do you wanna go? No? Okay. Okay, now you do. Okay, bye. Bye, 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 bye. I'll be right here. I need to build, like, a little thing right out here, like, I'm gonna see if I can extend my windowsill, right? It's like one of those bay window sort of things. I'm gonna see if I could extend that and then put, like, chicken wire around it so they could just kinda lounge out there because they stay trying to leave somewhere. They don't go too far, which is kinda cool, but I also don't like them to have to be outside. Okey dokey smoking. Let's get into it. Talking point 1, the reality you feel is not failure. Okay. I want us to recognize that too often the shame is wrapped into not being able to have and or do certain things. And that is intended by capitalism, right? You're supposed to feel bad about not being able to meet your basic needs. Like this is a moral failing. I'm seeing this conversation happen everywhere. And I'm like quite shocked that people don't fully understand that poverty is manufactured. There's no way to save your way out of it. There's no way to not consume inside of capitalism. There are no ethical avenues, right? Like to not be inside of those spaces. Ariana says, my favorite holiday tradition the husband and I created is that we only gift experiences to each other and loved ones. I love that. I was talking about that too with my family. I'm like, like the kids to have. Get them a boxing class, right? Like a month of it. Who cares if they stay, right? There's this other, my sister's like, okay, but how are you going to keep up with that? I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like, it's an experience. I'm not training them to be boxers. Like, maybe they'll go for a month of boxing. If they like it, we could discuss what that commitment level looks like for all of us involved, me financially, them actually, all of the things. Will they continue? We have boxing gloves here. We have a heavy bag in the backyard. Will they be committed to it themselves? These experiences are super important and so much fun. I love that you guys are doing that because, yes, here for the experiences. And they will remember that so much more than than what you bought. Like when you guys were with me in the summer for Aaron's 13th birthday, we were like in New York. They got piercings. Then we went to Florida. They remember that, not the quote unquote gift. It is this experience. Like for my 13th, I went to New York and got face piercings. That's kick ass. That's like there was going to be no gift that's going to top that, right? There's core memory making there. So yes, I love that. So that's the talking point. The reality that you feel isn't a failure. It's a reality. 2, breaks, parties, and pushes are not the season. They are the system overloading your threshold, right? On Facebook, a friend of mine was talking. I have a backup account on Facebook. I'm still fighting for my main one. But they were like, so this is the first time I've been at work, like in a traditional setting. They are a nanny, like a childcare provider. So they usually work in home personally with one to one, but they're now doing some office work. And they were like, there's like a potluck, a Christmas gift, a white elephant gift, and all of these things are happening. And it's like, I can't keep up with all of that. And I was like, those things are happening now because unfortunately, community happens to be where you work because you spend so much time there now. So, this idea of friends or work wives, work husbands, all of these things is a faux community that's coming through. I'm not saying that you cannot create deep and true relationships at work, but also, like, I don't got it, fam. Michelle says, love you folks. It was good just to be here for a moment. Super happy that you were here. Um, we will connect later on. So yeah, breaks, parties, and pushies are not I said pushies. My bad. Breaks, parties, and pushes are not the season. They are the system overloading your threshold, right? So getting back into where are your boundaries, what are your capacities? Hey, I'm not doing that. Okay. I got one potluck in me for work. I'm fine with sitting out. Would you like me to stay home? You could pay me, or I could work from home. If you feel like I'm the bah humbug, it is not that. There are social realities of what people have the capacity for. There are financial realities, right? Going back to point one, that people are navigating that you don't need to explain to people at work. That's your job. Like, my job is to come here and get paid and leave, right? That is it. It's becoming a lot. It's becoming a lot for many people. Third talking point, thoughtful presence looks like fewer gatherings, not no gatherings, but fewer gatherings, right? And that kind of goes and falls into there. I don't need to have three work parties. Okay. I don't need to be everywhere. I'm in a group, Girls Growing. I love them. Love them. Been in there. Pam Iverson runs it. And we get together. There's always something at least once a month, right? I'm not able to always get to things because I have tiny humans. But they had a beautiful Friendsgiving that I was not able to attend, but it is lovely, right? It goes back to the capacity. I will be at the next holiday gathering. So your presence, right, is something that you need to kind of hoard towards you, not in a negative way, but like it's sacred because it takes a lot to show up, whether it is financially, emotionally, spiritually, physically, right? People are navigating all sorts of realities, and it takes so much to just show up. And often much to show up for ourselves. So, showing up for so many people and all of the things, right? This, like I said, this liminal space in time, it's always awkward for me, very specifically with kids, right? Because we just had school break, right? We just came off of a week of no school. They'll be back in school now. And I think in 3 weeks, we break again for 2 weeks. And it's like, what even is time? All of a sudden, time shows me how unreal it is based on my kid's school schedule. So when you think about all of the things that you're supposed to show up for, if you have tiny humans in your life, right? Like, oh, well, the kid party is happening here and the work party there and the friends and the family and the too much. Allow yourself space. That is what this whole thing is talking about. Okay. So we're going to go back up to the top. So the reality that you feel isn't failure, right? It is reality. So the reframe that I want to offer here, because I do my reframes and my reflections is you're not falling off. You're hovering between worlds that are asking different things from you. Right. So when you are sitting here and you're like, okay, what I made last year is not doing the same thing that it is this year or 5 years ago, like what I spoke about with my $300 per child in the 90s and 2000s is not the same. And $300 this year wouldn't even cover like a game system, which is wild to me considering I have lived and purchased since Atari. But when you're recognizing those realities, right, and those spaces of the in between, that is important to recognize that you're not falling off. You're hovering between these worlds. One that we are working on dismantling and we're watching fall apart. Like, I want to offer that often is that we are watching the dismantling live. We weren't going to just wake up in utopia, but we are building those parallel systems. We are building community. We are doing the work of mutual aid, of showing up for each other, of healing, of being in that space whilst this world still exists. So these parallel liminal spaces between the two are a reality. Right. The wanting to do something and not having the capacity, the ability to do something and feeling some type of way that others can't do it. We are balancing those spaces, right? So, hovering between worlds that are asking different things from you. The reflection that I want to offer is the moments that feel unreal are the ones where you have to shift identities quickly, right? You have to be a parent, you have to be a professional, you have to be a caregiver, student, human. And it's like all of these things are happening and converging, and more so when we come to the holiday season, right? Not that we don't navigate multiple identities any other time, but again, with the time being so concentrated with this idea of a new year, it's not a new year. It's not a new year. It's not a new year. Okay. We're moving into that season of self, right? We're in the season of descent where it gets darker, heavier, broader, and we're moving into the season of self because we're coming inside. It's cold out there. Okay. Cold out there. It's cold. all of the things are dormant. I don't wanna say dead because they're still alive and doing things, right? But they are dormant. They are resting. Like, it is not a new year. It is not a new year until the spring. But that social construct of this new year, new beginnings, go hard. What did you do for 2025? Friends, take a pause because you're trying to navigate two different worlds. And that one that they are demanding our presence from is not real, right? We have got to disconnect that. Michelle, we have the capacity. I'm going to show up with what I have in the moment. And that is my reality. And that's all we can do. So I also do a practice your praxis prompt in here and ask yourself, what does time feel like in my body when it isn't being rushed, demanded, scheduled, or extracted? And I ask that specifically because I'm telling you, we're in this liminal space. It is, or at least to me, it just feels like it, like I said, it just reminds me how much time is not real. Like between November and January, I'm like, nothing is real, right? Like nothing. Nothing is real. And I think that that for me, and I'm hoping for you, is that transition into that dormancy, right? Like, oh no, I'm not blooming. I'm not doing anything. I'm shedding and I'm going deeper and darker in and nourishing myself because it's cold outside again. Okay. Two, breaks, parties, and pushes are not the season. The reframe that I offer here is school breaks, work parties are not rest by default. Rest is a thing you claim inside of them. Okay. There's just a lot of things. And as a parent who's parenting tiny humans, I let them know too, you don't need to be a part of all those things. You don't. You do not need to be a part of all of the things. And sometimes I won't even tell them what's going on. I'm not, because you won't pressure me into doing what I do not have the capacity for. Sam says work parties can be exhausting. Yes. Now I need an outfit. I need a gift for people I may not even like. Like I come here to work. I am not the person. I mean, I've always had the blessing, right, of being in spaces I really liked, when I was working. I've always been entrepreneurial, so that's always been it, right? Like, I did hair when I was younger, and it was my friend's salon. I did home health aide work. That was an easy certification. It gave me the flexible hours to take care of a child. I loved nurturing and caring for people. So, like, I've always had the ability to curate smaller spaces. I worked in an office once and I was like, never again. No, never again. Never, 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 never. Never will I do that. It's way too much of a performance for me. So, yeah, school breaks, work parties are not rest by default. Rest is the thing you claim inside of them, right? You don't lack boundaries. You've been living in a world that punishes you for having them. That is the reframe. Okay. When you say no to something, to a gathering, whether it's a friends gathering, a family gathering, a work party, because you could offer them options too. Like I said, I work from home, right? Because I don't need to be the bah humbug person. If today is paid party day, I'm a party at home. Can we do that? Because I don't wanna be forced to interact with people. We're not thinking about the whole of humans, right? Like, some people are grieving, some people are processing loss, some people are processing the loss of their connection with their family, especially in this political climate. Maybe I don't wanna celebrate with the people I work with. Maybe my kid doesn't wanna celebrate with a kid that teases them in class and school. So they're like giving yourself boundaries, allowing yourself permission to say no, because no is a complete sentence, is the reframe here. That is what I am offering you. Give yourself the permission to say no. Absolutely not. That's my favorite one. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not doing it. Period, point blank, full stop. I'm not doing it, right? And that pushback, that, oh, come on. Again, these systems, supremacy culture is non consensual. So there's always coercion. No is no. No, I don't want to do it. Nope. And unless you have a relationship with someone that is where you can push that or question, I don't wanna say push the boundary, where you can question, like, "Hey, friend, is there something going on that makes you not wanna participate?" What are the barriers there? Remember we talked about that in the 100 Days of Community? What are the barriers? When someone's not in the room, what are the barriers keeping them from there? "Hey, friend, I know you say you don't wanna go, so I just wanna check in. What are the barriers?" People are out here without finances, without the emotional capacity, without the social armor. What's going on, and how can I support you? Other than that, accept their no. Okay? 3 oh, no, I lied. The reflection. The system wants your social calendar to be louder than your self-awareness. Okay? There are 1,000 things to do. For me, in December, I used to do Advent, right? I grew up Irish Catholic. And as I separated from the religious aspect of Advent, I still was doing things, right? And you know what? I think I may go back to that. Um, See, that's one of those things that's in the attic, right? I have an Advent tree that has little drawers in there. I'm a novelty person. It has little drawers in there. I might go and get that. And, like, the kids would pick out something to do, right? So they would have this, like, countdown to Christmas. And that was so much a part of it. I'm gonna go in the attic today and get that. And it would be small things, make cookies, make gifts, let's go drive around and see Christmas lights. So all of these things, all of these experiences that you can have, but none of them were something that was so social that I felt drained. I want you to realize we are going through so much collectively. You should only be doing things that fuel your soul, right? That refill you. That's reciprocal energy. That's it, right? The emotional hangover of small escapes comes from running on a schedule bigger than your spirit. Right? That sitting in the car, that joke that we all have, and I do, I'd be like, "Oh my god." It's like, "Oh my I need it. What just happened? What just happened?" Sitting in the car for your driveway, like, for 20 minutes to decompress is absolutely your nervous system saying, "That was just too damn much." And for me, that's just the morning school run. I'm like, "What just happened?" It's just like 2 hours of a blur of getting tiny humans up, getting them together, hair, hygiene, food, do you have your things, da 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 da, getting in the car line, and I'm like, "I sit in that?" Yes. Ariana said, "Pure bliss." I sit in that damn driveway. Yes, my house is 10 feet away, but I sit there and I'm just like, and that should be your awareness, right? When we are overdoing it, that is your nervous system begging for a reset. Offer yourself that. And then ask yourself what you have to do. There's just some things in life that you gotta do. Like, I gotta do school run, right? But during this holiday season, there are things you just don't have to do. You just don't have to do. And I wouldn't have to do that school run if the government wouldn't come and get them. But alas, we do the school run, right? So start really balancing out what you have the capacity for, what you need to do, prioritizing those sorts of things, and what you can opt out of, friends. Because you can. And this is a heavy time, right? Like I said, that social push with the new year, all of these holidays, all of these commitments with work, with school, social, friends, the giving, who get, you give to you first. Taylor says, "Dark, early, we get 3 generations to share the joy of drive-by lights." I love drive-by lights, right? They have here in Atlanta, they have, like, Atlantic Station, and it's like I don't remember what it is, I haven't done it in a couple years. But you go in the car, and, like, it's, like, literally set up. I wonder if they're doing it this year. I will check it out, but it's so cool, and you can go around a couple of times, and you go in the car, you could drive through, or you can park the car and get out and really walk around. So there are so many things that you can do that just, like, fill yourself with joy, and I'm gonna figure out a couple of those things, what I have the capacity for. So, the practice your praxis prompt here is, what event on my calendar is asking for the oldest version of me to show up on its behalf, and how do I say no without abandoning love? Right? Because this new climate, this new awareness, if you are on your healing journey, sailors that wear randos in neighborhoods. I do the randos in neighborhoods too. But also I have 100 kids because three feels like 100. So sometimes it's nice to just be contained, right? Because if there is not a dedicated neighborhood to that, and again, things have shifted and changed, right? That's a hell of a light bill to do. And a lot of people have not been able to curate like that string of lights for our neighborhood anymore. So it's hit or miss. So with Atlantic Station, I know, like I said a few years ago, here's a destination, here's this fun time. Let's get some cocoa. We have seen the lights. Let us go home. Capacity. So asking yourself what is demanding an old version of me? Because who I was yesterday is not who I am today. Who I was the last political cycle is not who I am today. Who I was before my anti racism journey is not who I am today. Who I was before my healing journey is not who I am today. So, really discerning what social event is asking you to show up as someone you no longer are. Say no to that event. Say no to that event. Say no to performing that, right? That is more exhaustion on you. Sam says, wary of my overperforming ways as I start a new job today. This conversation is showing up right on time. Woo, woo. I love that. Congratulations on the new job. Oh, my TV has a screensaver. And I'm like, where did that music come from? Look at that. The universe is playing a song for you, Sam. All right. 3. Oh, I'm doing good on time. I'm very proud of myself. I've been trying to do better. I say that all the time. I'm doing the best I can. Thoughtful presence looks like fewer gatherings, not no to gatherings, but just fewer ones, more intentional, right? You don't have to go to every gathering to gather well. I shared with you guys that my Thanksgiving gathering did not give what it needed to give, right? And I'm like, okay, that's cool. That is information, right? That is information. Will I want to do this again next year? What does that look like? Um, how do I want to show up in those spaces? Because again, it is for all of us, I think it was demanding a version of us that we no longer are. Right. So, like, that gave me some information for how I want to proceed for Christmas, for any other future gatherings as well. So that is what I'm talking about, right? Like, you don't have to go to every single thing in order to gather well. Saying no to excess is not saying no to belonging. That is super important, right? It does not mean in our journey for community and community building, people are still learning. So it's like, oh, you don't need to be all the places, honey. You don't, right? A gathering could be you and 2 other people just sitting around deeply connecting over the holidays, over what's going on, just sharing joy with each other. The other day, my friend Lindsay came over and she brought me a PSL and we spent hours together. I made some like butter chicken with samosas, and we were building out. She was helping me do the back end build for the Liberation Education Academy. And that for me was a beautiful gathering, right? Me and one person. Decide what that looks like for you. The reflection that I offer here are the holidays are not evidence that the system works. They are evidence that you are working on yourself inside of it. Right? Like, really sit down and be like, you know what? This system is not working, but I'm working inside of it. I am doing the things to recognize that this system is extracting from me in all of the ways it possibly can. And I am showing up in ways that says no, right? I want you to realize that you have the right of first refusal. That should be, right? I have the right of first refusal. I can say no. That is what I want you to take with you. I can say no. I have the right of first refusal of where I show up, where my presence exists, where my money goes. I have the right of first refusal. Take care of yourself first, friends. So, the practice your praxis prompt here is, what is the smallest form of giving or gathering that my body can do without collapsing? And how can that become enough this year? Right? Really practice that. Like, what? What do I have, right? Can I sit down and can I go to the table and be with someone that we don't have the same political alignments, feelings, associations? Can we still share this space? Is that going to be healthy for me? Can I put that to the side? And I'm not telling you what to do or what not to do. I'm telling you to start asking yourself what you have the capacity for and to remind yourself that you have the right of first refusal. You could turn around and say, "Yes, I can." Right? And you could set some boundaries. You could say, "Here's what we're not gonna do." Like, we're not gonna have this conversation, we're not gonna have that conversation. I simply want to enjoy it for what it is. I simply want to be around you guys. I love you, you're my family. We are not going to agree. Hell, we don't even align on these things, but I do wanna enjoy it for what it is right now, if that's where you're at. Or you could turn around and say, "Absolutely not." You have the right of first refusal and create a gathering that you desire, right? Find others that also need that. Curating and creating your own family and community is a beautiful act of choice, of enthusiastic consent, right? We do not get to choose our family. Yeah, I mean, we do, but you know what I'm saying? We're born into it. And supremacy culture hands us this nuclear family as the end all be all, and these are the people you have to fight. No, you get to create and curate your own family, and they are just as valid and just as important. Think about how many cousins you don't know you have. Or people that you're not connected to in your blood family. Oh, same thing. We're all family. We're all kin. I have cousins that I could pass on the street and that wouldn't even recognize and or know me. The same way I would if I went into a store and saw strangers. We're just as connected, right? So you get to choose what that looks like for you. That is the whole point of this. During these holiday seasons, it is super vital to take care of yourself first, to not fall into the consumption. And like I said in my article, I recognize the irony in that as I'm like, hey, buy my app, buy this course. It's another thing. I'm also navigating capitalism. And these things are also tools for you to navigate these spaces. That is what I want you to take away is that you get the right of first refusal. During this time of this liminal space, of this convergence of time, it's like it's so interesting to me. Like, this is such a wild time. A couple years back, I wrote about time here on Substack. And I was like, even supremacy culture even has co opted time, right? People have different calendars. The Mayans have a different calendar. The Jewish folks have a different calendar. Christian folks have a different calendar. We're living in the after Christ calendar, right? Like there's a Chinese calendar. Some of us are in today in different years. Like, so that's how we know time is super not real. And it becomes very unraveled for me during this time after that descent, going into that deeper dormancy. So I want you to really sit down and think about how you're going to show up, what you are willing to offer during this liminal space. December, January, November, really. December, January is an insane time and it needs so much deeper care, right? Think about your plants that you have to bring inside, right? You are a plant, my friend. All living things are connected. You are a plant, okay? How are you going to take your plants from outside, bring them in, make sure they're nice and warm, taking care of them, watering them, and you are outside? Okay, think about your capacity. So look at let's round up these three talking points. Look at me, I'm on time. Do talking point one. The reality that you feel isn't a failure. It is not a personal failure. If you cannot do these things, if you cannot show up financially, if you cannot show up emotionally, if you cannot show up physically, it's not a personal failure. It is what it is. Ariana says, how do you navigate the mom guilt? I never felt like I'm doing enough on top of working full time. Really takes it out of me and has me committing to things I don't really want to do. I don't have no mom guilt. I don't have mom guilt, but I also have 30 years of momming practice. I remember that time, so I'm not, above that. Let me just let you know. Um, so I can say from 30 years of parenting is when I released my entire identity being a mother, right? When, I realized that no matter what, we're gonna fuck up, and I get to be human, and me not saying no to a ton of things really was harmful to my child because they did not learn boundaries. So with this second go round of parenting, um, I do more discussion. Like, can we do this? How do you feel? Do you really want to show up to it? Because I give myself options, I open them up to options as well. And so they get to say no. And because I teach them that by my no and they get to say no. So we will discuss it, right? Like, okay, I know you guys want to do that, but can we agree on like maybe like 2 hours, or hi, I'm human. So you see me working, you see me doing these things. I don't have the capacity for that. And this is where community comes in. Can we call somebody else in? Right? There are things where I will call a friend in and be like, yo, can you pick up Kieran? He really wants to go to the school's basketball game, and I don't got it, friend. I don't have the capacity. So that is it. But I do remember the mom guilt. But I am telling you, I hope that you choose yourself and choose to release yourself from it being your identity. Let me tell you something. No matter what you do, there's going to be something that you do wrong, and that is simply human and okay. Sam says, working on my thoughts around time has been huge. I learned the terms monochronic and polychronic from Jessica Dixon. So powerful for reframing. Well, I'm going to have to Google them and figure out what that is, or at least their theory of it. But yeah, time is crazy. I'm going to find that. Let me remind myself. Alexa, set reminder at 11 a.m. to add the timepiece into the replay.
I've set a reminder for you to add the timepiece into the
Sorry, because I know everybody else is then dead. Yeah, I definitely will, Sam. I'm gonna scooch down to that and look at me, boomer, and screenshot it. You are so welcome, Ariana. And if anybody else has any questions, I'm super here for that. All right. So the talking point one was the reality that you feel isn't a failure, right? Like, which kind of goes into the conversation that Ariana and I are having. Like, I, I don't have guilt about taking care of myself. Like, I don't, right? Because I'm going to tell you what is, and I share this often. One of my best friends, Monique, said this statement. Jesus, we met. Aaron was one. Aaron is now 13. We were sitting on the porch, sipping and talking, and she turned around and we were just having conversations. And she said, respect my no like you respect my yes. Fucking life changing. Respect my no like you respect my yes. And I use it and I live by it. So even and my kids now use it because I say it so much to them and explain it. Karen told his sister the other day, she couldn't have anything. He's like, respect my no like you respect my yes, right? So when you think about that, right? Like when you break that down, see if my children say, "Hey, can we go to the movies?" and I say yes, they're not going to question me. They're not going to ask me, "Are you sure, mom? Do you really wanna go to the movies?" They're ready to go. But if I say no, there's pushback. No, no, no. Respect my no, like you respect my yes. That yes, you love that, right? You didn't question that. Question my yes some more. Don't question my damn no. No. And usually it comes with an explanation. I don't have it. I'm tired. Find a friend. Like, I grew up in that time where, like we did a lot of things in friend groups. My mom was not at every single thing that we could do. I mean, I was also like raising myself in those times, but I'm not, I don't think that there's much wrong with calling in, phone a friend, please. Like that's part of this community building is like recognizing our capacity and sharing those spaces. Hey, if they're going to the same place, why are 5 parents showing up to the same place? Oh, you're going to that dance? I love that. Hey, come grab these kids because I'm not going. All right, talking point two. Breaks, parties, and pushes are not the season. They are the system overloading your threshold. Recognize your capacity, friends. What the threshold? This is the threshold. This is where you are supposed to stay behind it, right? You do not need to cross that threshold. No, you wanted to be outside. Here's your threshold. Recognize that, learn that, honor it for yourself, and others will honor it. And if they don't honor it, then again, this provides you information. Who are these people in my life that are demanding so much of me, they're not concerned with my own self care? And then that should lead you into how much are they pushing themselves? Like, wow. Because if you're willing to push another person, I'm telling you, it's because you do not give yourself enough space, right? So you don't give yourself enough space to rest, breathe. When you think about people talking, it's always that, right? Like it always goes to the worst. Like, well, I worked 40 hours and then had a second job. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe, 60-hour work weeks is for nobody. I didn't say you had to do it. I hate that that happened to you. Well, I work, 14-hour days and still get up and put on oh, okay. Your point? So because you push yourself beyond your own thresholds, you're demanding the same of me. And what I'm trying to offer you is a reframe here. I'm saying I don't push myself beyond my threshold. I'm also trying to offer that to you. Okay. Back to the respect my no, like you respect my yes. Talking point three. Thoughtful presence looks like fewer gatherings, not no gatherings, just fewer gatherings, right? What you actually want to show up to, right? I really want us to get into the practice of enthusiastic consent. And I love that the conversation comes up, but it's always around sex. But when we think of these systems of supremacy culture, none of it is with our consent. I didn't ask to be labeled a woman. I didn't ask to be labeled Black. I didn't ask to be labeled any of the damn labels that supremacy culture has given me. It is in and of itself inherently a non consensual system, right? So every single act of enthusiastic consent, every yes you honor in yourself is breaking a part of that, right? And our work here together is that personal liberation brings about systemic liberation. You're not going to change out there if in here is still wonky, right? Inner world, outer world, right? That's that new agreements. That's that shifting your paradigm. So that is the idea, right? Thoughtful presence looks like fewer gatherings, not no gatherings, unless that's where you're at. You know what? You may have hit your max of gatherings for a lifetime and be like, no, not one more. And that's okay too, right? And that may change, right? Like with the tree story. Now my tree will be up and I am loving it. I'm loving it, right? The kids got up this morning and they put on the look at this cool thing. They put on I don't have it on now because it's battery operated. I really wish it would have been plugged in, but look at that. Look at this. Check it out. Check it out. Okay. Now it wants to make me a liar. Ah! And you get to press all of these little different things. Look at it does all of this cool stuff. And like they've been playing with it and they'll get to change it. Okay. It's making me a liar. But anyway, it has all these really cool buttons. It was like 14.99. And it was so well worth it. Look at that. So now they're getting this joy, but I allowed the no. What I did not do, and that kind of goes back, Ariana, to the mom guilt is I was separating from my husband. And I know that they were also separating from their father. Were we going to pretend? No, I'm not gonna pretend. We may still celebrate the holidays, but it's not the same. And that's okay. I do not want you guys going through these situations and pretending. I don't want you going home or visiting or being in places and pretending you can show up. You can show up at your capacity. Now we will have a month of joy. And I'm super excited. And not only will we have a month of joy of our Christmas tree, right? Because every so often we'll just add some more. Like that's our tradition. And my children notice it. Like I said, my 9-year-old son, he was like, it smells like memories. And that just fucking broke me wide open, right? And so, like, we'll sit down on the tables already set up with, like, the art stuff and some of the ornaments, and we decorate, and I'm like, "Write the year on the back of it." And so we just keep adding to it, and we're doing more, but we allowed ourselves time, and we're not pretending. Ariana says supremacy culture is inherently non-consensual in the quotes and a breath out. Yes, that is something that we need to seriously, deeply take in. So every enthusiastic yes is a breaking of the system. Sam says, lately I have loved asking platonic friends for more physical touch, feeling done with relationship labels. Fuck yes. Like, I've always been that person. I am like, come over and nap. Like, I'm a cuddler, right? You guys have seen I like Leah and I make dates to get in bed together. I'm like, and I've been like that pretty much all my life. And I'm not a real big physical touch sort of person, but yeah, like I want to cuddle. Like, let's do that. Like, we get in the bed, we order some food, we watch some TVs, or we talk shit. Usually we're like pulling some cards, pulling out some crystals. We're doing, like, acupuncture on each other. We're talking. And not only is that a beautiful physical touch, right? Like, because it goes back to that enthusiastic consent and not feeling like I have to perform, right? Like, because when you have often because of supremacy culture, when you are in a romantic relationship, and I think we need to unpack that because I am in a romantic relationship with me. But you know what I'm saying? You feel like, fuck. If I ask for a cuddle, I'm gonna have to give up some ass. And it's like, that is not enthusiastic consent, folks. When you really start peeling away the layers, you start recognizing how much of our life is deeply embedded in these systems, in not existing in our own autonomy, in our own enthusiastic yes, right? So when we move beyond the labels of relationships, and my friend Shanae is coming over. She does polyam. That's her shtick. For Friday with Friends. This Friday with Friends is going to be Leah. Ooh. But Shanae and I are planning on doing it in person in our pajamas, right? We're going to do Christmas holiday pajamas. So you see, like those kinds of things. I love that. It is lovely, Sam. It is lovely. And like I said, I've always been like that. My best friend from when I was like 16, I met her when I was 6 months pregnant with Jade. So we raised our 3 kids together, and you could not tell those children we were not lesbians. Like, they were like, "I I'm not sure?" But what's beautiful about that is that both of those families, are children of divorce, right? Like, Josie is my friend. Josie got a divorce from their dad, and I was divorced from Jade's dad. But they still grew up seeing an intimacy between people that were not on a sexual connection. They still were co-parented, right? They were still loved through it. They still had 2 parents. And that is the beauty of community and releasing the constructs of supremacy culture and coming into your enthusiastic yes. So that is what message I want to leave with you on today for this holiday season. Come into your enthusiastic yes, right? In this liminal space, in this political climate, in this financial nightmare for many, enthusiastic yes. If you can't grab that and say, yes, don't do it. Don't do it. Like, I'm absolutely gonna be charging Christmas. Like, I'll tell you. That's pretty much how I live, and I'm okay with that. It's the, poor tax. But I am super stoked about getting Shady a new vanity. Like, I'm like, "Fuck yes. Fuck yes." Because she sits at that thing every single day. And she loves it, and she puts on her little makeup, and she plays, and it's a cute little one, right? It's like a little kid's one, but, like, this one's like a big girl one, right? And it's $130, and that may seem huge, but not for the impact, right? And it has little drawers, and instead of the lights that are, like, kind of falling down, this one comes with the lights already in it. And she is a YouTube star, honey, okay? She is not playing. That is my enthusiastic yes. I don't want to get things and then feel like, "Oh, fuck. If I'm gonna be in debt, I better be loving it." You know what I'm saying? Like, it's worth it. That's my enthusiastic yes. So that's my message. I love you guys. This cat is stalking me to get out the freaking window again. Thank you for being here always. Thank you for the space to grow. Thank you. Thank you. Just thank you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your enthusiastic yes for showing up here. Yes, Sam says invest in your joy. Exactly. And not in the consumer sort of way, right? Like that's it. That's what I'm getting. I may run to the dollar store and grab a couple, makeup things, and you can make that pretty. The dollar and the quarter store, right? Get a little woven basket, right? Get a couple of little things for 10, $15. Put it in there, slam a bow on there, and then all these little tiny things like stocking stuffers. Stocking stuffers are the blast. I enjoy stocking stuffers more than actual gifts, right? Because it feels like a whole bunch of stuff. So there goes a wonderful way of like, here, all the little fun things. Oh my God, that's another thing I have not done since I've been separated. Hanging up the stuff. You know what? You guys have motivated me. I may go in the attic. I'm not going to promise you because, again, enthusiastic, yes. But I am feeling like I want to go in the attic and get some things out. We'll see how that lands in my body. All right. I'm out of here for real now. Bye. Mwah.